So what makes you decide whether you're going to do a 6K or a 5K?
Usually when I get on the scales the day before. So,
Welcome to Turn the Level Up podcast, probably best described as two brothers who run a bit, ride a bit, and talk in random bits of inside jokes and movie quotes, getting together to have a little bit of a chat. You might have already realised this is not going to be a conventional podcast. We're sat in his kitchen. We don't have fancy equipment. I've got a spatula with a mic on. You know, we're just going to do it our way and hope that you enjoy it and follow along. If you've followed me here from my social media channels at Level Up, then you are probably expecting that anyway. We have no idea what we're doing. We have no idea whether we're going to make this a success or whether it's just a big joke, but we'll have some fun. I'm Phil. This is my brother Simon, and we're here to entertain you for a little bit. How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah, this is a little bit weird and awkward.
This is really awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever sat across from each other just talking, apart from at a pub, maybe.
Not without a beer.
Yeah. Well, I've got a tea.
Oh, a coffee.
Yeah. And we've got the fancy mugs, so we are pretty much podcasters now. So,
That's the way it works.
Yeah. Okay. So things are going to get a bit weird if we don't have some knowledge of us, because otherwise it is just going to be inside jokes, which we've already just started with random film quotes, as before we've mentioned. So we've been brothers for as long as I can remember.
I think not for my whole life, but for your whole life, definitely. Though.
Well, yeah. That's how that works. So it would be awkward for us to introduce ourselves to each other.
Yeah.
So I've got something for you. We're going to do some quick fire questions. I've gone with the acronym JAMS, like the shorts.
Wow. Yep.
No one's going to get that. If you do get that, just, drop a comment. JAMS like the shorts. So we're going with job. So what you do? No, not yet. I'm just going to give you them all first so you know what we're going with.
Yeah.
Then appetite, so favourite food.
Yeah.
Music, so favourite kind of music. Movie, so something you may have watched more than 5 times.
Right, okay.
Okay. And favourite sport and the sport that you currently do, if that's different.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So you can go, I'll ask you first, or do you want to ask me first?
No, you go ahead. Yeah.
All right, job.
Sales manager for a powder coating company, a paint company.
Okay. Appetite?
Oh, Thai food. Or Thai or Caribbean. Probably a mixture of both, but Thai mainly.
Okay. Music?
Well, I would have said back in the 90s it was some weird, soft, heavy rock mixture. Now it's country.
Nice.
But I liked country before it was trendy, though. I have to say that.
Is it trendy?
Well, Beyonce's trying to make it trendy.
I think she did, and then that kind of went. Now she's dancing, and I don't know what's going on there. Movie?
Princess Bride.
Okay, you might have stolen mine. Sport?
To watch, mainly football. To do, I can't do a whole lot anymore because my knees are shot. So running, badly, slowly.
Okay. All right. You want to go with mine?
Yeah, go on. I'm going to try and remember the order now. So, yeah,
Jams.
Jams. Yeah, okay, the job.
I work in education. We'll leave it at
that. Okay. Appetite.
Burger. Or Thai. Yeah, burger or Thai.
Burger. That's what you need. You need to start a Thai burger place. That's what.
I don't know if I'd like that, to be honest. I just like a burger.
Yeah, weird coconut burgers would be.
I don't want that. Yeah. I don't want
that. Movie.
You stole Princess Bride. That was probably going to be mine as well. I'm going to stick with it. It's still one of my favourites. It's actually probably, I think, one of the ones that I remember quoting from the earliest.
That's carried on going for a long time.
Yeah, and it still does.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you wish.
When was the last time you watched that?
When was the last time I watched it? Fully all the way through a while ago. Probably 6 months I watched some of it.
Okay.
It was on TV. I think I watched some of it, but yeah, I can always watch that movie.
Jam, sport.
Skateboarding probably was my first one that I really kind of loved doing.
Yeah.
Would still love to do. Don't really do it as much anymore because every time I go to the skate park, I hurt myself so badly that I can't do anything else for like a month. So the last time I went, I think I was off running for about 2 months because I damaged my foot.
Good thing is
So-
you haven't got a lot of other things to break because you've broken most of them. In the
Most
past.
things, yeah. So, some of them twice as well.
Yeah,
So,
that's interesting.
but now cycling, I do like running still. That's how I started anyway. So I do still like running. Music, you missed music out of the jams. Jams has got 2 M's.
Oh, okay, go on then. Music, go on.
So yeah, probably the soft rock in the 90s, but moved on to hip hop, rap, that kind of stuff. Probably more singer-songwriter at the moment, with some dancey stuff thrown in. I don't know. Seems to
We've
fit
got a
with what I'm
mixture
doing at the moment. So yeah, a bit of a mixture. I do listen to a lot of different stuff, so it's kind of difficult to pin down. So how's the week gone this week with running and stuff?
Oh, running. I did. What did I do? And I'm not. When I say I'm a runner, I'm a 5K person. I'm not a.
Yeah.
I'm not a marathon runner. I've never run a marathon.
Consistent though.
Yeah,
Let's not mess
consistent
about here.
5K.
You did 200 days in a row.
Yeah, I did 200 days in a row. Yeah, and then I couldn't walk afterwards, so then I took a little bit of time off. This week's not too bad. I think I've done 4 runs this week. I did
That's pretty good.
6K this morning. I did 6K yesterday morning, and that was a bit slippy and slidey, so that was fun.
So what makes you decide whether you're going to do a 6K or a 5K?
Usually when I get on the scales the day before, so I tend to run a little bit slower. Or maybe if I've gone slow, I think I should probably do the extra K so that nobody can see that my 5K was slow. Then maybe they'll be confused with my 6K time.
Okay. So sometimes it's for the Strava clout, and sometimes it's for the.
It's more for myself, but yeah. And traffic probably. I end up just going all over the place because I run on the road. So if I run, on a route that's not normal, then I'll just go a little bit further. So
fair play. I've not done great since the New Year, to be honest, but that's because I coughed so violently on New Year's Day after a run that I put my back out.
You did do 500 over the Christmas period on a bike as well, though.
Yeah.
You should probably rest a little bit after that.
Yeah, I probably should have rested, and I didn't, and then did myself some damage, and I wasn't very well anyway. But you do it anyway, don't you? Because that's part of the fun of it. I think that's the thing. But I got on the trainer this morning. I did 30 miles this morning. So that topped me up to 80 miles this week, I think. My aim is to try and do 100. I'm actually changing that though. I've been watching, the Wild Ones podcast, which is more cycling based, really. It's all cycling stuff, really. But they're talking about time and stuff like that. So doing 400 hours over the year rather than a distance over the year. And I quite like the idea of that. I was close to 400 hours on the bike anyway this year. So maybe that's something to look at. I don't know. But I do quite like the idea of doing time rather than distance, especially with running.
Yeah.
I've always just done 5K, but my 5Ks just got quicker. So in the end, I was running for less time.
So when I started when I did the 200 runs in a row, I didn't start with 5Ks. I was doing 30 minutes a day.
Okay.
So then was doing 30 minutes. And I think probably my first 5K was 28, 29 minutes. So it was slow. And then I just did like 5.2 or 5.3. And then by the end of that, I was doing half an hour and I was doing 6.2, 6.3.
Yeah.
So that worked really well. And then I got to 200 and just stopped because I was struggling to walk a little bit.
Okay.
But my 5K is one of those things that I have to do because I run on a treadmill every now and then. And I have to make sure I get to 5K because it's so easy to get off a treadmill, which is why I run on the road because at least I've got to run back as well.
So would that not be better to go for time then? So say I'm going to spend 30 minutes on the treadmill?
Yeah, makes sense.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for me on the bike, I don't think, because my route decides on the time, really. You know what I mean? Like, so it doesn't kind of work. But I like the idea for running and maybe kind of aiming for that much over the year. For the last few years, I've aimed for 6,000 miles over the year, and I've never got it. It's still what I aim for because it's still doable. If I'm consistent over the year, I'm just not consistent over the year. Okay.
Do you ever go out on the bike and not hurt?
How do you mean?
Because every time I run, it hurts. It either hurts something. I mean, it hurts my knees or it's, something that's kind of painful. But I feel better afterwards, obviously, for doing it. Yeah. But do you ever kind of think, no, I feel absolutely fully fit today when I go out?
Most of the time.
Yeah. That's not a good sign for me, is it?
Well, running's different. Running's different. So if I run, I can feel it a lot more. If I've been on a particularly hard ride or a really hilly route, then that hurts, obviously, because you've put in a lot more effort. When I went to Halifax, that hurt. Yeah. Because that was just like hill after hill after hill.
Yeah.
you're getting over the hill and that kind of thing, and then you get the descent afterwards, which means you can rest. Whereas if you're running, you don't get that. So, right, we better move on because otherwise we could talk about this forever, couldn't we? But we'll catch up each week and see how each other's stuff is going on. But we're going to move on to a bit of a feature with a bit of a title that I've been working on. So it's we'll see how it goes. I've been working on this in terms of it kind of like being a repetitive thing and you having to do the same thing each week and what your kind of goals are. So I'm going with the working title of Pounding Another One Out. I've even got a theme tune. So we'll run that now.
We're pounding another one out. Fitness goals, no room for doubt. Every week we shout. We're pounding another one out.
So there you go. There's my intro to Pounding Another One Out, which is the kind of working title for us catching up with each other on what our goals are for the next year and kind of helping each other along with that. I don't know if I'll stick with that title. Might be a bit much. So any goals for this year? What have you got planned? Are you running anything, doing anything? Want to change your sport? Do anything different?
Goals for running. I think I said on one of your posts that I'd run at the end of the year. I think the 100 miles in, 8 days between Christmas and New Year. So
100 miles or 100k?
No, sorry, 100k. Yeah, I've just got to stop saying this on camera. 100k, yeah, which is what's that, about 12k a day or something like that. So I reckon I can do that, but I'll have to train to get to that point. So that's kind of my end goal, is to get to that point.
Okay.
My goals are always, and my running is kind of, my goal is to spend more time running than I do eating. That's kind of what I think should be a balance of fitness.
How does that work? I just eat faster.
Yeah, I could do that, and then I could run less, I suppose. But
it's like one of them mukbang videos where you're just like ramming food into your mouth as quickly as you can, so you only have to go for a 10-minute run.
No, but generally 20k a week, because that's 4 runs a week, and I know when I run every single day it hurts. So I'll run every day at the weekend, I reckon. I'll run on a Saturday, Sunday. I go out for a walk with the dog as well before that. So weekend exercise is all right. But at least I should be doing 2 to 3 runs a week. That's the plan.
Okay.
To build up to that point. But as I said, if I can run for longer or exercise for longer than I spend eating, then I think I'll probably just feel better about myself generally, because at the moment I spend a lot more time eating than I do exercising. So, and I don't do a lot of other exercise. I mean, you and I play squash for a little bit.
Yeah.
The knees definitely don't allow for playing football. I'm too scared to get on a bike. I'm going to get knocked off a bike if I get on a bike. So that's why I run. So, 4 runs a week's good.
Yeah, it's a good target in terms of like you need to be able to rest in between, I suppose, as well, which I discovered is fairly important.
Yeah. You got weekly. So your weekly target is 100 miles a week on the bike.
100 miles a week on the bike, but that's really because I do 50 of that should be easy, because that's pretty much commuting miles. Yeah. Somebody asked why I don't record my commutes as well. By the way, I do. I just don't share them. I don't particularly work in the nicest area of town, so I tend to keep those private, just so that nobody knows my route. Just there could be somebody waiting on my route. I don't know. But
following
you just got to be a little bit careful, I suppose. I did mention in one of my posts, it was one of the things about Strava that I quite liked and disliked. The fact that, it's shared a lot, but also, you can make it private if you want to. So it is quite good for that. But yeah, 100 miles a week is doable, really, if I'm doing that. And then I can be consistent on the weekend as well. And maybe I try and plug that up as well by plug that up. That's not a thing. No. Bulk that up by pounding another one out. I try and bulk that up a little bit by doing some mornings on the trainer and things like that as well. So that maybe if I can't get out on the weekend, or the weekend ride's more of a kind of coffee ride, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But 100 miles, I think, is probably doable for me. That's why I do that. And if I keep consistent to that, and some weeks are more than that, I can actually probably reach the 6,000 miles if I try to. But I don't know whether I'm going to do that this year. I don't know what my kind of goals and aims are for this year, other than try and be consistent with things and try and keep up with things. I'd just like to try some different things. I want to try mountain biking this year. I love road biking and I love the kind of places that it takes me. but I'd like to try some mountain biking this year. I think just throwing myself down some trails might be some good fun, but also, you know, it would be something different as well. And I like making videos, so it would be quite fun to make some different videos of different things. I'm not bothered about gravel biking particularly, but I'm happy to go on a gravel trail on my road bike because, you know,
that'll do it.
I'm an idiot. Yeah. I'll do it fixed because that'll be more fun.
So if I was going to pick anything else, then it's got to be swimming, because we did it a little bit last year. We both did. But then when I went on holiday, I swam every single day, and I felt great. I mean, I felt like I didn't actually use muscles I don't use while I'm running or doing anything else as well. So that was really good.
Yeah. I swim a lot more in the summer, it seems, because in the summer I seem to have a lot more time to do that, and there's places to swim open at really awkward times. So in the summer I've got that time to do it. I love swimming. Swam every day on holiday. Swam pretty much every day during the during the summer. Yeah, that too. You know, so I love swimming. One of my things that I quite like to do this year, just for a bit of a laugh, is I'm going to do a. Oh no!
Go on, you got to say it now.
I'm going to do a triathlon, but I'm not going to do like an official triathlon. I'm just going to get up one morning and I'm going to go and do the swim, and then I'm going to do the ride, and then I'm going to do the run.
Well, if it helps, I'll come and laugh at you.
Yeah, you can laugh.
Yeah,
that's fine. But I'm not particularly interested in doing organised events.
Yeah,
I've done a lot of that, and I enjoyed some of that as well. But I'm not particularly interested in doing those. So I kind of need something else as a bit of motivation.
I mean, we did a couple of 10Ks together, and I mean the 10K is fine. I like running with you, and it's a good laugh on the way, and then go for a drink afterwards. But actually, I just find that the night before, I'm trying to work out what I should eat, and then I'm getting up in the morning, I'm thinking, right, we're going to run in 4 hours. Whereas at the moment, I get up and I just go, if I'm going to run, I better go now. So it just doesn't suit me at all, the organised events at all. So I've never done a park run.
I've never done a park run.
Might try and do a park run.
I was going to ask you if you'd done a park run.
No, never.
No, I've never done a park run.
No.
I think it'd be weird
now,
because I've never really, apart from doing some like 10Ks and stuff like that, I've never really ran with other people.
No.
So, you know, I think it would just be a bit odd now to do that. But, you know, it might be fun. We could do it.
Yeah, I mean, I sing while I run as well, so it's really weird when other people are with me. Yeah.
I mean, I fart.
Everyone.
Yeah, it's when you get into one of those rhythms, isn't it? Where it's like every step, isn't it? It's the timing one, isn't it? Yeah, that's the bit where I'm really avoiding going around other people. Yeah, the only time you can do it is when you're running past the people with like the overhead headphones, so you know they're just not going to hear it, and then you're okay. Or you're going to be like that woman. Did you see the lady from the triathlon who was running and told the cameraman not to film her?
Oh yeah.
If you haven't seen it, go and find it. It's quite funny. So some pretty good goals to go with. So next week we can talk about how we've gone with pounding another one out.
The fact recording means I'm going to have to pound it out now.
Well, absolutely. Have you coped with the cold?
I thought the roads were going to be slippier than they were, so that was actually okay. I didn't find that too bad. I mean, I tend to get off the pavement and run on the road as soon as I think it's slippy, but my knees are sore, and that's got to be a little bit of the cold. I mean, they're sore before I go out, and they're sore in different places than they normally are as well. And I reckon I usually wear knee braces, but I just find them too restrictive. So I've been trying to run without those, but I can't. I mean, if I walk the dog, I walk in shorts. So the other day it was -4, and it said it felt like -8. I still go out in shorts because I just don't like wearing.
Well, do you think that might be part of the problem?
So, possibly, but I just feel uncomfortable running.
Like other people are there putting those recovery boots on when they get home and getting in the sauna and stuff like that. You're like, right, my knees are really sore.
They're quite red when I get back.
I know what I'll do. I'll go walk the dog for an hour in shorts in the freezing cold. Might not be the best idea.
Yeah, but my legs in tights is not. I mean, my nickname at school was chopsticks. My legs in tights did not look. That's not a good look at all.
No. Well,
not that they look better in shorts.
I've demonstrated that this week as well with my new tights. They're not.
You've actually got calves,
not the most flattering. I do have calves.
Yeah, I haven't got those.
That's all I've got.
Yeah,
though.
My two probably make one of yours. I reckon.
The guy I went out with the other day, man, his legs are massive. I couldn't believe it. You stand next to him, it's like both of my legs were the same size as his. It's unbelievable. I mean, sitting behind him was great, like on the bike.
Yeah.
Just drafting behind him.
You'll never have the legs of that man.
Never. They will never be mine. Never. Oh well, I'd have to have like 15 protein shakes a day, I reckon, to get up to that. I just can't put on weight at the moment though, so but the problem is that you you kind of do so much stuff because you think it's good for you, and then you don't have time to balance out the rest of it. So I'm not very good. Which moves us straight onto the next one, which is we were on a break. Don't worry, I got a theme tune for you. Let's roll that one.
We were on a break. Oh, come on, it's true. Like my trance monster, I thought I lost you in my paleontology class. I'm feeling so alone, wishing you'd remember how I can't find a bone.
So there you go. There's my theme tune for We Were on a Break, and we are going to be talking about rest and recovery because I'm rubbish at it. So I thought it might be something that we could probably try and get better at. Now, you're quite an avid reader, but how many books did you read last year? Must be one a month at least.
Yeah, probably one a month last year. Yeah.
And I don't read enough. I read a lot for work, but I don't read a lot for pleasure. So it would be nice to try and get some new books. Some book ideas from you. I'm going to do music. So I've got an album that I think you'll probably quite like. And then both of us share something that the other one might want to watch.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. I'll start with music. So a guy I've only found this week, actually, Monrovia, I think his name is. He's kind of, he's described as like an indie pop folk influenced by kind of West African roots and things like that, but now lives in Tennessee. So you definitely get that kind of country feel to some of it as well. Very kind of mellow, Sunday afternoon, chill kind of thing. Listened to it a couple of times on the dog walk, and it's just been a real nice album to listen to. I was trying to think of some standout tracks for you, but there's about 3 or 4. So I'd say probably track 2 and track 4 are probably one of my favourites. I can't remember the names of them. Guilt or Killer, I think, is one of them. But well worth a listen to, and probably one to look out for, I reckon. Probably going to be quite a good one.
Well, I used to run to the same playlist every single time I ran, but mainly because it had a certain tempo, so it used to help me run my 5-minute 5Ks. But now I just listen to absolutely anything, so I'll listen to that while I run this week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a bit weird when something really slow comes on because I still try and kind of make a pace to it, but. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you might be running a bit slow to this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure it's kind of exercise vibes. If you want something like that, I'd go for something. There's Lane 8 has got a new album.
I've worked out to just have it as background music while I run now, so I'm alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Monrovia. There you
Monrovia.
go.
Okay. What am I reading at the moment? I'm reading short stories. I'm reading by the guy who does the Jack Reacher books.
Okay.
I think it's called Safe Enough, and I can't remember, but yeah, I think it's called Safe Enough. I'm one of these that I want a book. I want to hold a book, so I don't read off Kindle or anything like that.
No, I'm rubbish at it. I can't read off the iPad.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work for me.
I'll just grab it and I'll read a chapter at a time. So I think it's called Safe Enough, but it's that's good. But I like most of the good stuff that the guy who writes the Jack Reacher, whose name for some reasons.
We'll pop it up on the screen anyway.
Yeah, but that's good. And then just this morning, just for something different, I tend to read different things. It's a bit like my music is very varied as well. This morning I ordered the book Catch 22.
Oh,
one of my favourite books of all time, but I haven't read it for a long time. And I went and looked on the bookshelf this morning and it wasn't there. So I ordered that off Amazon this morning. I'm going to start reading that.
Just a good shout.
Yeah.
I might read that. Let me know when you're starting it, and I'll start it at the same time.
Cool.
That's a good shout, actually. I haven't read that in a long, long time. Something to watch. I'm going with on Netflix at the moment. There's a show called The Gentleman. There's 6 episodes. They're about an hour long, I think. Guy Ritchie produced it. If you think kind of Lock, Stock meets Downton Abbey in 2025, good. Yeah, had me for the first show I've had that's had me put my phone down in a long time.
Yeah, I watched it with the wife.
Oh, did you?
I laughed out loud at so many parts.
Yeah.
And it's gritty as well.
Yeah, proper good show.
I really liked it,
I'm only 2 episodes in, I think.
Okay.
But really enjoying that. But yeah, definitely the first one that's made me put my phone down for ages. Usually halfway through, I'm just scrolling through stuff and realise I've missed half of it. But that one was definitely a good one. You got any more?
Yellowstone, I'm watching at the moment. And
I've seen that.
Yeah, the episodes are an hour long, so you got to be ready to kind of sit down and watch something. I watch it in the background quite a lot. I think there's 5 or 6 series of that. And I'm on series 3.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm hooked on that. Kevin Costner.
Oh, nice.
Which it can be a bit weird.
Yeah, he can, definitely.
But he's
good at some things as well. Waterworld.
Yeah, and it's got the country vibe in the background. It's like Waterworld. Yeah, recommend that.
Dances with Wolves. All 7 hours of it.
Dances with Wolves, he directed himself as well.
That's why he was in it so much.
Yeah.
That'll do it. Yeah.
No, this one's good. It's pretty gritty, and I think it's Yeah, it's a bit of country music in the background, which I quite like as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it keeps going back to the country music,
Exactly,
doesn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. It's a good job I threw some country music into my nice little intros, isn't it? So, yeah. Country music's obviously a big one, isn't it? Okay. So
that one's not on Netflix, I don't think. I think I'm watching that on Prime. I think that's on Amazon Prime.
okay.
Yeah.
So one for Prime, one for Netflix.
Yeah.
Excellent. I haven't watched any good films lately. I've watched a lot of rubbish ones. I haven't watched any good ones.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I really like watching films, but every time I started a film over Christmas, I got sort of 5 or 10 minutes in and thought, this is awful. I can't watch it. So, I haven't watched anything good, really. I wanted to know whether the Gladiator was any good, because the second Gladiator came out at the cinema and I missed it when it was there. I don't think it's there anymore, but the first one was obviously awesome, but I didn't see the second one at all. I heard a few things that people said it was a bit average, and I thought, I'll wait till it comes out on I was going to say video then.
Video?
Wait till it's on VHS.
Wow. You're going to nip to the guy with your duffel bag and get like 14.
No, I'm going to go to Apollo and have a look at it. I'm going to rent it for a couple of days.
Oh, dear. Right. I haven't got a theme tune for this one because I was making these late last night and I kind of ran out of time and AI just gave up the ghost on me. So I'm calling this bit, why would you do that? And this is, I've gone down some themes here. I've gone down this one for some stories that I'm going to share with you
Go on.
that I found online this week, which range from the weird to the bizarre. We'll start with this one. Scandal struck the UK-based World Conquer Championships. That's right. That exists. When the men's champion, King Conquer...
He's a genius. That man's a genius.
was accused of cheating after a steel chestnut was found in his pocket. Yeah. 82-year-old David Jenkins, who has been competing since 1977. This is before I was born.
He's competitive still.
Yeah, man. Still going at a sport at 82 years old. It's better than us, isn't it?
Conquers a sport.
Said he kept a steel conquer on him for humour value. It's just for jokes, bro. What are you on about it? I ain't using that. It's just jokes. His vanquished opponent, however, made the accusation that he had switched his genuine conquer, a horse chestnut threaded with string, for the far more destructive steel version. After a full investigation, I don't know what that would look like. After a full investigation, Jenkins was cleared by the organisers and allowed to keep his crown. There you go.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
I mean...
And he keeps it in his pocket.
King Conquer.
King Conquer.
You'll be glad to know, though, that he didn't actually win that year. He was beaten for the overall title by Queen Conquer. Kelsey was her name, by the way.
I feel like she wasn't.
She's originally from Indianapolis as well.
She wasn't as inventive with her nickname.
No. She kind of copied him, really. I mean, it kind of makes it sound like they were together, which I'm sure wasn't her intention when she named him herself that as well. So that's probably not the best. Right, I think I had another one for you. This one's from the summer. World Gravy Wrestling Champion results revealed after hundreds of litres used in pool.
What the hell?
I know, right?
It's like a mud wrestle with gravy.
Yeah, Bank Holiday Monday saw the 15th annual, it's been going for 15 years, World Gravy Wrestling Championships take place in Lancashire. Of course it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The event outside Stackstead's Rose and Bowl pub saw 16 male and 8 female contestants face off in the ring for 2 minutes whilst swamped in gravy.
So this is annual. We could go and watch
right. This wasn't really what my favourite part of this story was. My favourite part of the story was the comment at the bottom, which was, so the comment at the bottom, stuff like this annoys me. What a waste of a good product. I'm all for a bit of fun, but seriously,
said Mr. Bisto.
Honestly, I read through the whole thing and thought, oh, what an average story. Got to the comments, like, oh, worth it. Yeah, worth it. I'm really glad I went through all of that. So there you go. Some stories from the internet for you on some weird and wonderful sports that have been going on for so long as well. Mad, isn't it? Right. I asked some people if they had any questions for us to answer. So we are going to just have a quick look through some of those. There were loads, so we won't cover them all this week, but we will go through a few. As a mum of 3 young men, I worry that they don't talk about their feelings enough. Any tips? Only asking as you seem very good at that. Sorry, it's not cycling related, though. I don't think a lot of this has been cycling related, so I don't think it matters. Any tips for 3 young men sharing their feelings? I don't think young men share their feelings. I don't think I did. No, I don't think I do now particularly well. I do it on video, but I mean, I've probably shared stuff on video that you probably didn't know.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's, they'll find their place, I guess, and they'll find the people that they can talk to.
Yeah, I think, I mean, having a good role model's good because good role models will tend to talk, I think. So if they can find somebody that talks and they can work out it's okay to talk, that's good. So I think if there's somebody they look up to who talks about things like that, it's a good thing. And somebody, I mean, doesn't have to be somebody you know. If you listen to Chris Hoy talking about what he's going through physically now and how it's affecting him emotionally, like blokes never did that in the past. So to hear him do something like that,
yeah,
I mean, that man's got legs as well. That's just going back.
Legs.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, but I don't think boys do that generally. And the worrying thing is probably girls don't do it as much as they used to anymore as well because they feel like they get ridiculed. So I think it's
yeah, I mean, I've got one of each. So have you.
Yeah.
Yours are older than mine. How old are yours now? Old?
Oh, man,
adults.
To me, yeah. Yeah, 21, 22.
Mine are 10 and 14. Yeah, my daughter doesn't talk an awful lot either. So I think it's just something that, yeah, we try and be fairly open at home. They ask me how my day's gone quite regularly, and if it's been bad, I'm honest with them and kind of just go, yeah, but, you know, it's better seeing you and that kind of thing. So just, you know, model it, I guess, is the idea with that one.
Yeah.
Apart from daily rides to work, what's your favourite distance? 30 miles. I love a 30-mile ride. 30 miles is about just under 2 hours. With a coffee stop, you got 2 hours. Perfect. Anything over that, I start to get a bit bored, if I'm honest with you.
That's part of the reason why I don't do much more than 5K as well, because I do.
Yeah.
I do like 10 and 12K run, but by the end of that, I'm thinking, my mind's gone. I've drifted. And 30 minutes is pretty good for thinking time as well. After that, I'm thinking what I should be doing instead. Problems.
I think one of the reasons that I quite like the group rides that I go on is it's 12 miles there and 12 miles back for me. You know, the trip there flies because I'm usually running late.
Yeah.
The trip back flies because I'm usually running late.
Yeah.
And then it's the bit in the middle where I'm with other people, so I don't mind that being a bit longer.
Yeah.
But most of the time I'm on my own, so you know, 30 miles in my own company, that is more than enough for anybody. I don't know how anybody puts up with it any more than me, to be honest with you. Tips for hill for beginners, larger riders. Just keep riding them. It's my only advice. Keep riding. It doesn't matter how fast you go. Just keep riding up hills.
You have to on a bike because if you stop, you kind of fall. You do
fall off. Yeah.
If you go outside my house, it's basically uphill, up the road. I mean, you've got to go. So the few times I've been on a bike, it is just keep going until you get to the top. The good thing is there's usually a down on the other side as well. So
yeah. And I will say there's no shame in stopping, taking a breather, getting back on it, or stopping, walking it for the steep a bit. Just, you know, after a while, you won't need to walk as far or you won't be getting off as often. So, you know, just keep doing it. Consistency, I suppose, is, again, that same thing, isn't it? Just keep doing it and you'll be all right. What makes you feel alive? Whoa, that's a good one. What makes you feel alive? It's the people going.
Makes me feel alive. I mean, I FaceTimed you yesterday while I was out walking the dog, and it wasn't early, but it was flipping freezing, and it was one of those where you got to get out of bed and go and do it. The sunrise was awesome. The sunrise one side, and then I couldn't see anything the other side. It was crazy. So, bit of cold weather definitely makes me feel alive. Usually doing something with family, that makes me feel alive. Tough week at work, we all go out for a drink on a Friday.
Yeah.
That, I feel like, that was awesome. And that could be half an hour in my week, and it can make my whole week seem like it was all
right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think I'd go with that. I think the short amount of time that we do spend all together, I think those bits of time, and especially in this last year as well, where, you know, your kids have come and joined in with that a little bit more, and you know, it's been a bit more of a Friday drinks club and kind of making a bit of a thing of it and making sure we find that time together. I think those are the kind of things that do that for me.
Alcohol also makes me feel dead. I mean, the next day, and I took 2 nights these days. And the next day, I'm thinking that felt like a session.
I don't drink much anymore.
No, I can't anymore.
Over Christmas, I was going out like for drinks in the pub and stuff, and I was drinking 0% or Lucky Saint, which is like 0.5 or whatever. and I can't. I didn't. I was like, I've got to get on ride tomorrow. There's no way I can do that anymore.
It's the pub on a Sunday afternoon and ask for a flat white. And they hate me, but it's a nice flat white in there.
Why not? Wow, man, who would have thought we'd be the people asking for a coffee in the pub? Oh, man, my 21-year-old self would be ashamed. It's absolutely disgraceful. When can we expect to see you on your first bike packing expedition? I'd love to be honest, but, it's time, money. Those things cost a lot of money. And I've never done it, so I'd probably want to do it the first time with someone, I guess. Probably make it a bit less daunting, or maybe just do a short one. Maybe that's probably the best thing. Also, I do kind of try and avoid being away overnight and that kind of thing while the kids are around. I still don't know why. I just get this kind of guilty thing. So maybe I need to get over that a little bit.
It's nice to be in the house while they're in their rooms, though. So.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. I'm just in the house. I'm downstairs and they're upstairs in their rooms not wanting to see me, but I still feel like I need to be there. I'm such a weirdo. Anyway, what's the biggest challenge you faced as a cyclist? You can go as a runner. And how did you overcome it? Biggest challenge I've faced as a cyclist, not finding a place where I felt like I fitted, I guess, and then realizing I didn't need one. Trying to ride with groups or emulate other people or wear what other people were wearing or have the bike that other people were having, was probably, looking back on it, what held me back from enjoying it a lot of the time. And I think how I overcame it was not having anyone to ride with anymore. COVID, I guess. So nobody rode after COVID and it was just me riding on my own. So then you kind of just go, oh, this is actually all right. I can just do what I like and get up when I want and go out when I want and ride as far as I like and plan the route myself and wear what I want to wear and stop when I want to stop and have a coffee where I want to stop and have a coffee and stop and have a wee and not feel like I'm massively under pressure because there's like 4 people watching me do it. You know what I mean? Like little things. Where am I weeing? Just on the side of the road. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not just stopping in a coffee shop. Everyone's just standing around the urinal watching you go. Hey, Phil's going, everyone. Hey, come on. Let's all make sure we get in there. Go on then, what's your biggest challenge you face with running? How did you overcome it?
I'd say, I mean, you went probably mentally or emotionally. I'd say mine's trainers. It's running shoes. It's what to run in. And I run in a pair of Solomons that are like trail shoes on the road because of having running lots of different shoes where I just slipped all over the place. Yeah. And my feet in these are really, they feel like they're in the right place, but they're not road running shoes, which is not doing my knees any good. So my biggest issue, which I haven't overcome yet, and I'm considering changing from a pair of Solomons to trying some Asics or something there, is running shoes. I think that's probably wrecks my knees are my big problem, but I think it's the shoes that don't help me at the moment. So
I have the same with trainers, with running shoes. Is that what we call them now? Running shoes?
Running shoes.
Sneakers.
Yeah.
That just reminded me of the Goonies with his oil slick shoes. Sorry. So the running trainers that I have are trail running shoes, New Balance ones. But I've had them for it must be 3 years now, and they're shot. They are done.
Mine are okay, but I keep buying the same pair of Solomons. Mainly because I know when I put them on, they feel great. But when I run, especially if I run without music, I realise how loud it is.
Yeah.
Because they're just not.
They're not built for it, are they?
Yeah, they're not built for that at all.
Yeah.
But they feel great.
We need some like carbon-soled, springy things which make us feel like we're flying down the road.
I can't do the whole
£180.
I can't spend that much. No. I just can't do it. Not because I can't spend the money, but I feel like I'm
wait for a sale
like that. All the gear, no idea, kind of.
Yeah. Like them bright, like coloured, fluoro, on running.
Running my jams.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow, we got full circle. Wow. Okay, so you haven't overcome it really, then?
I haven't overcome it. No, I found something which feels great on my feet, so my feet feel all right, but it doesn't. It's not right yet, though.
All right, fair play. Do you have any pre-run rituals or superstitions? I have to have a cup of tea. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. Everything has to start with a cup of tea for me. So I have to have a cup of tea before I go for a run. I have a cup of tea before I go for a ride.
So I found that really weird. I couldn't run having had a cup of coffee or whatever. This morning I had a coffee, walked the dog, and then ran, and that worked okay. No, it's just I've got a certain level of stretches that I do before I go, and I do the same ones exactly every single time, and I do them when I get back as well. I do the same stretches just so I don't seize up afterwards. Yeah. But apart from that, I mean, I don't want to get into the toilet, but but running keeps me much more regular than anything else. I just go before I run, which is great because then for the rest of the day I feel all right. Whereas if I don't run, you've got to do that.
Yeah. With cycling, you do that before you get dressed. You go to the toilet, you make sure all that's done, then you get dressed, and then as soon as you've got dressed, you need the toilet again. So then you have to get fully undressed.
Yeah.
To then go again.
Yeah.
And then you can get dressed again, and then you'll still get out on the bike, and about 3 miles later you'll go, Did I? Oh man. Yeah. So pre-ride rituals. Go to the toilet. That's what I do. Yeah. That's probably about it. Right. We'll go with one more then. I really don't want to clip in something in my brain makes me feel like a prisoner of the bike and I will die. Yeah, I'm judged all the time riding a carbon bike with flat pedals. Am I going to hell? I don't think I can judge whether you're going to hell or not. I don't think anybody made us the person who decides that. Do you have to wear clip-in pedals? Absolutely not. You don't have to at all. I would recommend like toe clips or something like that, just so that you're kind of a little bit more attached to the pedals, and then you might want to move on to clipping into the pedals, but you don't have to. You never clipped in when you were riding. You like toe clips, didn't you? So that you could just, you were a bit more attached to the pedals. They do help, especially on climbs and things like that, because you can pull and push if you need to a little bit. And don't go for the SPD SL pedals. Do just the SPD ones, like the mountain bike ones. You can really loosen off the pedal with those. So actually you're pretty much just stepping out of them, and then you can gradually tighten it as you get more confident. So that might be a way to go. You could do them so loose that actually they weren't actually attached anyway at first, and then slowly tighten them up. I think that's how I started. I think I started with mountain bike pedals and then slowly tightened them up, and then eventually went to the full road pedals once I was a bit more confident. But that would be my advice. Do it slowly, and then you should be okay. Okay. Any plans for next week before we finish up?
Any plans for next week? You and I are out on Thursday night for a comedy gig.
We are, a comedy night, yeah. Looking forward to that. It's one of my Christmas presents from this year.
Yeah, it should be good.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
We may even have a beer or two.
I'll have a flat white in the pub just before Friday.
Yeah, a couple of lucky saints we had in. Oh, dear. Yeah, Friday's a struggle though, isn't it, if we've had a few. But that would be good. I'm really looking forward to that one. It's the only thing in my diary, actually, really, this week. Apart from work? Yeah,
apart from work, nothing else. Except I'm going to get up and run tomorrow and start. And then this week I'm going to do a couple of Leo moves. On the days that I don't run, I'm going to get up and do Leo moves.
I find that really useful.
Yeah.
And actually from my back, I've done that. I rested it for a couple of days and then I got back into stretching, and I just did those really slowly. That's really worked for me. He's a guy on YouTube, Leo Moves. He's got an app and all that kind of stuff, but I only ever use the beginner one.
I've got it on the telly, saved on YouTube, and I come down and use do the same one. The music drives me absolutely insane, but for some reason I still keep it on instead of silence.
Yeah, it's really unnecessary. I do exactly the same. But I did that every day during the summer. Felt a massive difference in how I felt. And didn't look too bad either. I mean, my wife didn't say anything, but
no.
I could tell by the glint in her eyes.
She likes to look at Leo, doesn't
it? That's what it was every morning. It wasn't that she was looking at me working out.
Straight past you.
Yeah. Straight at Leo. I like a man bun. Right. Okay, we're going to finish up there. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We hope that you've enjoyed this podcast, and we hope to do some more episodes as we go forward. Look out for updates. We have no idea when the next one will be, so you'll have to look out for it. We'll try and keep you updated as to when that will be. I'm going to leave you with a little quote.
Go for it.
Yeah, something a little bit mindful for you, just to finish off, make you feel good about yourself, or really terrible about yourself, depending on how it goes. If you were to write down a list of all the things that you love, how long would it take until you got to yourself? It's a good one, isn't it?
Oh, that is a good one, yeah.
I don't know if I would have even thought to put myself on the list.
Put myself on there.
It feels a bit egotistical, but I think the thought of it is probably probably more relevant than the actual list that you might write.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Have a great week.
You too.
Later.
Cheers, everyone.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.